So is that okay, or you want me to?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Good evening and a happy new year to everyone. Welcome to our Saja Yoga meditation session, broadcasted here from Bay Area, California. My name is Saila. I'm one of the hosts for tonight, and I'm so happy you have joined with us today to experience the true meditation, the silence within, the thoughtless awareness that you can gain with Sahaja Yoga. If you would like, you can unmute yourself and introduce yourself. Tell a little bit about yourself. Why did you join today? How did you hear from us?
Hi, my name is Beenal, and I heard about Sahaja Yoga from my friend Babita, and she recommended me. And I really wanted to do meditation for a long time. And I have some sleep issues where I'm not able to sleep peacefully. So I'm hoping this will help me.
Wonderful. Welcome.
Thank you.
Anybody else would like to introduce themselves? If not, you are all most welcome to join us today. And today's program, we will have a short introduction about Sahaja Yoga. What is Sahaja Yoga meditation? And about the founder, Shrimati Nirmala Devi. And after that, we'll have the meditation experience itself. And after the meditation experience, you're free to ask any questions you have, and we will guide you through the next steps, what happens, how you can meditate at home. So I would like to introduce you to Ajay, who will tell us more about Sahaja Yoga. Welcome, Ajay.
Thank you, Saila. Welcome, everyone. So in the beginning, let me just explain a little bit about what Sahaj Yoga is. And then after that, as Saila mentioned, I'll give you a brief introduction about the founder of this meditation technique, Shrimati Nirmala Devi, and then a little bit about how Sahaj Yoga works. But before we do anything, what I would request all of us, if you can see me, if you're sitting on the ground, that's fine. If you're sitting on a chair, that's also okay. Whatever makes you physically comfortable. So keep your palms, both hands, palm open in your lap. Excuse me. And before we start talking about anything, what I would request all of us is to take a moment to settle down ourselves so that we can get into the state. So meditation is not an exercise. It's a state which we are trying to establish within ourselves by bringing or by detaching ourselves from outside world. So for couple of minutes, what I would request everyone is please close your eyes if it makes you comfortable. Keep your both palms open in your lap. And just observe ourselves. No need to concentrate, no need to focus anywhere. Just assume that you are looking at your reflection in the mirror without thinking, without analyzing, without judging anything. As we bring the silence within, as we disconnect ourselves from the outside world and bring our attention inwards, you may have some thoughts. If you do, again, just observe it like a passing cloud. Do not react to it. Do not analyze it. Do not think about it. Just observe. Now, for our own reference, what I would also request, pay attention to your palms. Just pay attention to your palms and see if you have any sensation. If you do not feel anything, that's fine. But if you do, again, just make a note for yourself. Don't need to share with anyone, just for your own reference. Check if you have any sensation on your palms. Any finger or any part of your palm, either left or right. Again, that's just for our own reference. Okay, let's open our eyes. So take a moment and see whether it was difficult to keep our mind silent when we closed our eyes, when we bring our attention inwards. Was it easier to keep our thoughts away, or our mind was constantly active, getting bombarded with all sorts of different thoughts? In case if you did have some thoughts in your mind, again, take a moment and just observe. Again, I don't want you to get into analyzing anything. Just take a moment and observe only one thing, whether the thoughts which we were getting were related to our past, present, or future. All the thoughts which we were getting, were they from this moment or from the previous things which we did, or it could be what might be in the future. So once we are done with that, let's go ahead with the introduction part. So Sahaj has two meanings. Sahaj means spontaneous, for which you do not need to do anything extraordinary, no warm up, nothing. Just the moment you show your desire, the moment you try to connect with yourself, it spontaneously work. And then if you break it into parts, it also means born with. So we all are born with this awareness, this energy, these vibrations which we are going to talk about. All we need is our desire, which and that's the reason why we are here today in this session, to learn about it, to experience it, to feel how this meditation works. And yoga, I'm sure everybody on this forum knows, yoga is the union of our inner self with the primordial energy or the universal energy, whatever name you want to give it. It's the union of our one self with the primordial energy all around us. So on that note, let me move to the next slide. So we all have different reasons to meditate. Some of us are looking for some solution from our physical problems. Some of us are looking for some solution from our emotional stress, or sometimes it's a mental stress. So it's a new year. we want to start on a good note. And one of the things we want to get rid of is any kind of stress we may have. Now, if you, as we did earlier, if you have paid attention to your thoughts, you may have realized that first thing is that when we put ourselves in silent state, were there any thoughts? If your answer is yes, then I would say that's very common. 99% of humans have that general problem where even when we do not wanted or unconscious, mind is always active in chattering. So emotionally, we might be at peace, but it's always active. It's constantly thinking, analyzing something or the other. Now, that is okay. Now, if what? So again, as we did early on, if you guys have looked at, observe your thoughts, you may have realized that all the thoughts which we were getting when we are trying to put ourselves in a silent state are either coming from our past or coming or related to our future. So it's always we act like a pendulum and go back and forth in our mind, constantly analyzing either about our past or planning about our future. But if I can break that conditioning, if I can break that constant chatter or humming, whatever name we want to give, and bring ourselves in the present moment itself, where I observe, where I witness everything, but don't think about it, then it brings the silence within. That chatter which goes on in our mind completely fades away, and it brings the silence within. And that's helped to overcome whatever stress we accumulate throughout our day, either in the physical form, emotional form, or mental form. It allows us to connect with our own self and help us to clear our mind, because most of the time our mind is clouded with our thoughts. So if we can break that conditioning, if we can part these clouds, we can bring that clarity, we can bring that light within ourselves, and it helps us to focus better in our work. It rejuvenates us both in the physical form and emotional form, and help us, guide us to move in a positive direction. Now, one of the advantage of doing that is, as I said, it rejuvenates us, it clears our mind. But what it also brings, and that's the reason why I asked you earlier to observe your palms. When we closed our eyes, to look at and see if you have any sensation on any of your palms. So it brings a new dimension of awareness within ourselves, which allows us to connect with our own self and evaluate, quantify ourself, our state, whether it is in positive direction or in a negative direction. And I'll touch upon these things later on. But before I go and talk about that, let me take a moment and talk about Shri Mataji, who is the founder of this meditation. She developed this technique in 1970 to give people en masse self-realization. We all have all the right ingredients within ourselves to have that silent state. All it requires is our attention or willingness to go into that meditative state, and B, our desire to achieve that, to manifest that within ourselves. And what her approach was that rather than talking about either the bookish knowledge or talking about having deep discussion about these things, why not first have the experience and then talk about the recipe? If I like the food, if I like my dish, then if I share the recipe, everybody will be eager to learn. Everybody would be willing to know about it. But if you don't know how the dish is, then it becomes hypothetical. You have no relevance. You don't have a reference line. So same way, what she suggested is that rather than getting into the literature or the intellectual aspect of any kind of meditative state, let's have the experience. Let's first experience it, whether this works for me and it is benevolent to me or not, and then talk about all the details. So she developed this en masse technique of giving en masse realization to everyone, where you can feel the energy first within ourselves and then go and talk about all sorts of different things, how it works, what you can do if there's any of these centers are out of place, and so on and so forth. So irrespective of your caste, religion, color, race, which country you belong to, irrespective of that, she traveled all over the world, giving people their self-realization and allowing them in their own freedom and liberty to learn about this process and evolve or go deeper in their meditative state by learning themselves, by becoming their own master. So with that, let me go to the next slide. And this is the subtle system within all of us. Our subtle system is built of two different things. One, channels. As you can see, there are 3 channels. A blue channel. This channel represents our emotions, represents our pure desire, and represents our past. Similar to balance that, there's another channel on our right side, which is shown here in yellow color. And this is the channel of our attention. This is the channel of all the physical and life, but it's also a channel of future. So on the left-hand side, you have a channel of past. On the right-hand side, you have channel of future. All the mental and physical activities are represented on this right channel, and all the emotions and the pure desire within us are represented on the blue channel. Now, between these two, this white channel is the channel of the present, the balanced state, the present, this white spine. So these channels are part of our spinal cord, and that's why it's referred as sacrum bone. Lies this 3.5 coil energy, in Sanskrit referred as Kundalini energy. Kundalini or Kundal refers to the coil. So this 3.5 coil energy lies within us, dormant, since our birth, waiting for us to show our desire to have our self-realization. And that's what we are going to walk through today during the process. So once we raise this energy from its dormant state along the central channel, we enlighten these different centers along its path and open up over here on top of our head, the seventh center or the integration point, and allow this energy to pierce through and connect with the primordial or the universal energy all around us. So instead of just a independent node, we allow ourselves to become this part of this global intranet, if you want to say it. We allow ourselves to become the part of the universal energy which is governing the whole universe, all the living things. We become the part of that living force itself. And in return, what you get is the enlightenment of these centers. So what are these centers? Again, in the physical form, in medical terminology, you can say that these centers are spinal cord. So all these centers in the physical form at least governs different, all the nerve plexes have thousands of nerves coming from different organs in our body, which are constantly working for our sustenance. Whatever task we may do, these organs are always active. Even when we fall asleep or when we are taking break or taking rest, these organs are still active. They are working for our own benevolence. So when we sit down, go into that meditative state and establish that silent state within us, we allow these nerve plexes or these junction point, or what we call in Sanskrit as chakras, we allow these points to recuperate itself. We allow them to heal itself because they are under constant stress. They are working all the time. So by allowing ourselves to take that 10 minutes, 15-minute break and go into that silent state, we allow these centers to recuperate and bring it back in the balanced state. Now, apart from the physical aspect, they also reflect different qualities of our personality. And some of those qualities are represented here: innocence, creativity, peace, love, compassion, collectivity, forgiveness, and integration. So all these qualities are part and parcel of our being. It reflects in our behavior. No matter what task we are doing, presenting ourselves, whether it's at home or at work, whether it's in our domestic life or our professional life, these qualities are reflected in our day-to-day behavior, and they change depending on our state of being. Sometimes we are too agitated, we lose our temper very easily, we are short on patience, and that's reflects the instability within ourselves. Sometimes we are too nostalgic, too down, too depressed, and it could be for different reasons, but that reflects state of our being. So if you're too down, too depressed, feeling lethargic, feeling loss of energy, that reflects that you are on the left-hand side. If you're too active, running too much all the time, planning too much all the time, that pushes us on the extreme right. And that makes us more aggressive, more stressed out, and so forth. But if we can bring ourselves into the balanced state, that what's represented in the central channel, we allow ourselves to go into that thoughtless, silent state within us. Along with that, so that's the, at least at the gross level, you can say that you find the peace within ourselves. You find that silent state within ourselves. Now, the second benefit which we get, again, it's a byproduct, which we get is the awareness of these centers on our palms itself. As you can see over here in the chart, different centers in our subtle system are reflected on different parts of our hand. So heel of our palm reflects the first center, second center is on our thumb, third center is on our middle finger, fourth center is on our little finger, fifth center is on our index finger, and sixth center is on our ring finger. The seventh center, which is the top point, also reflected in the center of our palm. So if any of these centers are out of balance for any of the reason, physical, emotional, mental, you feel that tingling or heat sensation on that particular part of your hand. Sometimes we are too left-sided, sometimes we are too right-sided, and you can feel that on your palms itself. Left or right palm will tell you if any of these centers are out of balance. And that's the beauty of this meditation, is that we all become our own doctor. We all become our own teacher to find, to diagnose, and to correct ourselves. I do not need to rely on third person to tell what is wrong with me, what is out of balance with me. So it allows us not only to find that silent state, but it also allows us to connect with our own self and become our own guru. So that's more or less the introduction part of this session. If you have any question, please feel free to ask. I would suggest we'll have some time at the end. So if you have any question, please do feel free to ask anything about it. But the next step, which we are going to do now, is the self-realization part. Please, during that part, do it with the open mind and do it with open heart. I don't want you to follow anything blindly. Everything what we do here in Sahaj has a meaning, has a relevance. And what we also want you to do is do it from your heart. Don't do it as a mechanical exercise. Whatever what we are going to learn, do it, show your willingness, show your desire, and do it from your heart, so that you can have that experience. You can feel that energy not only on top of your head, but also on your palms as well. So that becomes more relevant. It becomes easier to understand. Now, on that note, I'll hand over to Miss Kaushalya, who is volunteered here today. She is going to help us with the self-realization part. So on that note, I hope all of you have great experience. You can feel your own energy and have great meditative experience today. So with that, let me hand over to Ms. Kaushalya.
Thank you, Ajay. Good evening, everyone. So I will be guiding you through that experiencing part. So before we do actually the guided meditation, we will first, I will guide you, I will show you what we are going to do first. And for that, we will do some simple exercise. We are going to use, as Ajay explained, we are going to use our hands. So the left hand, we will keep it in our lap, palm facing upwards. We can keep it open and rest in our lap. So the right hand represents our action power. So we are going to use our right hand on the left side of our body, because as Ajay explained, the left side represents our desire power. So what we need for today's experience is our own desire from our heart, and doing this exercise, expressing with our right hand that we desire that experience today. So for that, first we are going to we keep our left hand in our lap, and we are going to place our right hand on our heart. And while we do it with closed eyes later, I will also I will ask you to say some affirmations. You can quietly in your mind take those affirmations to express your desire from your heart to this energy. That energy, we are going to address that energy, which is within all of us. We can address that energy as mother or as Mother Kundalini. We can address her because we are going to ask that energy today to awaken within us and then give us that experience. So next, we are going to place our right hand on the upper abdomen on our left side. And then we move our right hand to our lower abdomen. We can place it and put some pressure with the fingers on the left side. Then we bring our right hand back on our upper abdomen. Next, we will take our right hand on our heart. After that, we will place our right hand on the left side of our neck, where our neck meets our shoulder, and we can turn our head towards right so we can get a good grip there. And after that, we are going to place our right hand on our forehead. We can bend our head a little bit so we can rest the forehead in our palm. Then we take our right hand and place it on the back of our head, and we can tilt our head backwards facing the ceiling. And the last step would be we can stretch our fingers and we can put the center of our palm on the fontanelle bone area where the soft spot was when we were little. And we can also bend our head a little bit, and we can put some pressure and then massage our scalp clockwise 7 times. Now we bring our right hand back in our lap. So you don't have to remember all the steps that we went through just now. You can just keep your eyes closed and then listen to the instructions, and then you can follow that. So first of all, make sure that you are sitting comfortably. I am sitting on the floor, but you are welcome to sit in a chair. Just that you are sitting comfortably. When you are sitting on the chair, you can keep both your feet on the ground, touching the earth. So now we are going to slowly close our eyes and take our attention inward. We can take a few deep breaths to relax ourselves. Now let's bring our right hand on our heart on the left side. Here, we can ask a question. Again, as I explained, we can address our own energy as a mother or as Mother Kundalini. Mother, who am I? Let's ask this question a few times from your heart. Mother, who am I? Am I this body? Am I this mind? Or am I a higher consciousness? The spirit, the pure spirit. Now let's take our right hand on our upper part of our abdomen on our left side. Here again, we ask Mother, am I my own master? Am I my own teacher? Now we bring our right hand on our lower abdomen on the left side, and we can put some pressure with our fingers to keep our attention there. This is the center of pure knowledge, the knowledge of ourself. So let's humbly ask Mother Kundalini, Mother, please give us the pure knowledge. Mother, please give us the understanding of ourself. Please ask from your heart. This energy itself is pure knowledge and pure desire. So when we ask for the pure knowledge, she will awaken within us. Let's bring our right hand on our upper abdomen on the left side. When this energy awakens within us, she will guide us and we become our own teacher. With full confidence within us, let's say, Mother, I am my own teacher. Please let me be in control who I am. Now we bring our right hand back on our heart. And we can say, Mother, with full confidence from our hearts, Mother, I am the pure spirit. We can say that a few times until we feel satisfied. Mother Kundalini, I am the pure spirit. Now let's take our right hand on our neck, on the left side of our neck, turning our head towards right. Here, we have to say that we don't condemn ourselves. If we feel guilty for anything, this energy cannot pass through the center. So again, with full confidence, please say, Mother, I am not guilty at all. I am the pure spirit. I am not guilty. Oh, I don't condemn myself. I am the pure joy within me. Now let's bring our right hand across our forehead. We can bend our head a little bit, resting our forehead in our palm. this is the center of forgiveness. From our heart, let's say, Mother, I forgive everyone, including myself. Without thinking about any particular situation or a person, we simply say from our hearts, Mother, I forgive everyone, and I forgive myself. This energy is ocean of compassion and love. When we forgive others, we can be forgiven by this ocean of love. Now let's bring our right hand on the back of our head, resting our head in our palm. We can tilt our head backwards, facing the ceiling, keeping our eyes closed. Here, Mother, please forgive us if we have done anything wrong, knowingly or unknowingly. Now let's take our right hand, fingers stretched. We can put the center of our palm on the crown of our head and put some pressure. And we rotate the scalp clockwise 7 times. At the same time, from our hearts, we ask, Mother, please give us our self-realization. Mother, please give me my self-realization. We ask this energy to connect us to our true self. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please let me feel your presence. Now let's take your right hand a few inches above your head. And see what you feel. You can move it higher or lower or sideways. You may feel a cool breeze or warm air. Now let's bring our right hand back in our lap. Let's bring our left hand a few inches above our head, and let's take it a little higher until we feel any sensation. Now we can bring both our hands back in our lap, and we can fix our attention on our head where we just massaged, and stay in this state of silence and enjoy the music. Now slowly, we can bring our attention to our hands and palm and the fingertips. And whenever we are ready, we can slowly open our eyes. I hope you enjoyed the silence, and I'm going to give over to Saila now, and please share your experience with Saila. Thank you.
Thank you, Kausalya. I hope you all had a good meditation. If you would like to comment on how did you feel, now is the time. If you felt some cool breeze or warmth or general peace feeling within yourself. Looks like everybody is still in such a meditative mood. Very good. So let's talk about this slide here. So here's a few tips how you can meditate at home. And you don't have to remember these steps. You can write your email address down in the chat box to one of us hosts, and we will send all of this information to you also. So what we do, we can sit comfortably, same way as we did today. You can sit either on the ground or on the chair, and open your both hands. As Kausali also was telling, to keep hands like this, the palms facing up. Our palms are very receptive. We can feel the vibrations on our palms. Therefore, we keep them open. And we can close our eyes and take a few deep breaths just to settle ourselves, to relax ourselves. And there's a few other tips too, that you can raise your Kundalini just by, let me show you. With your right hand at the center of your body at the bottom, bringing it up just like this with your attention, with your closed eyes like this. You can bring it above your head for 3 times. This helps to raise your attention to the Sahasrara, which is the chakra above the head, right on top of the head. Just like this. And after you do this about 3 times, you can just massage your head like we did with Kausalya just a few moments ago. And keep your attention above there. And you can have your hands open on your lap and sit for 5 to 10 minutes in silence. And if you have a lot of thoughts coming in, you can say, not this thought, or I forgive. Those affirmations, just quietly within yourself, they will help you to be more silent. So that's how you can meditate at home. And let's go to the next slide. So to help you to establish your meditation, because now that your Kundalini energy has awakened, she will go back to the dormant state if you don't meditate. So we have this helpful meditation at 9:15 every night from Sunday to Thursday at the Zoom link, which is marked here, meditate every day. So there's one of our volunteers guiding and hosting the session to help to establish that meditation, the daily meditation. So please feel free to attend any of those evening meditations. And this was also our first of the 4-week courses. So next Thursday, we will have a second week where we will tell you more about how to balance that left and that right channel that Ajay was talking about in the beginning. How to balance if we get too many thoughts about futuristic thoughts, how to balance if we're feeling down, if we're feeling emotional. So those we will tell you next Thursday at 7:30 at the same address. There's also there's a YouTube channel, also email address to us. If you want, you can set up one-to-one session with one of our volunteers if you would like to deepen your meditation, if you have any questions. So other than this, if you have any questions, we can take them now. Please feel free to ask any question or comment about anything.
Thank you for the session, and I felt good. So just wanted to thank you for that. Thank you, everybody.
Wonderful. Thank you. Anybody else? You can also leave your email address or any comments in the chat box. So we will send you materials, how to meditate at home, and reminders about these 2 sessions that we have going on. If there's no more questions or comments, thank you everybody for joining us today. I would like to wish you all happy evening and a happy new year. See you all next Thursday. Bye.